Welcome back to TYT Sports. Something that I just learned, Jayar Jackson uses Bing as his search engine.
Something else I just learned, Rick Strom is a liar.
Can I see this real quick?
I told you 3 times.
I'm just kidding. In the comments, do you know anybody who uses Bing? Very serious
Email me
question.
at my AOL address.
Which one is it?
Let me know. My AOL online.
Let me know, 69 at AOL.com. So LaVar Ball has pissed off so many people, especially within the Lakers organization, that a rule that currently existed, they're now coining the LaVar Ball rule. And what many employees at Staples Center view as the LaVar Ball rule. This season, the Lakers are enforcing an existing policy that no longer allows members of the media to congregate in a section of the arena among family and associates of players after games. Family, friends, and agents wait for players in the seats behind the basket closest to the visiting team's locker room at the conclusion of games. Interviews conducted in that designated area and near the tunnel leading to the arena corridors are now forbidden. A handful of rival front office executives, this is great, deem this matter as a necessary reinforcement to prevent LaVar Ball from having a routine post-game platform in which he's occasionally critical of the team. Let's be very clear about this. If LaVar Ball was slobber knocking over the Lakers, this would not exist. Can we unite on that front?
Yeah, probably. Unless then it sparks other teams to start doing the same thing. You know, bringing somebody's wife and then she's on every time talking extravagantly about how well just her husband's playing.
Miko Grimes. Brent Grimes, never mind. So clutch points, it's a long thing. So clutch points, this is just a history, okay? Of like LaVar Ball going after the Lakers. They said, hey, we saw a rumor, I don't believe it, but is Nash working with Lonzo? I'd say no. The reason I say no, because if he was, my son would have said, you know what, I'm working out with Steve Nash. What's Steve Nash going to teach my boy? He's short and slow, man, come on. Never lost. And then he also went on to criticize the entire team, saying, quote, they're soft. They don't know how to coach my son. I know how to coach him. I tell him to go get the victory. Stop messing around. That doesn't sound like coaching. And then also he went after, Byron Russell went after him via TMZ. Here's that.
First thing I would tell you guys and the LA Times and everybody else and Mr. Ball as well is I got so much more experience in you doing this than you'll ever have, especially in the NBA. So basically, I would probably just say, shut up and, just stay put, stay on the sidelines. We got this. Because now it seems like he's, obviously, trying to jockey for a coaching job, and we just don't know where that's going either. So if I'm Luke, I'm not, to me, it's laughable. If I'm Luke Walton, I'm sitting there just kind of basically just laughing about it.
All right, well, Luke Walton can certainly laugh about it, I suppose. The last one that I have is when he criticized Julius Randle and Luke Walton back to back. Take a look at that.
Well, I'll tell you the crucial point. When Julius got that ball at the end, he said threw it forward. Yeah. Lonzo had a wide open layup. Yeah. One three-pointer, that's game. Yeah. Julius tried to take too many dribbles, and then they fouled him, or they called timeout. But if he would have threw the ball ahead, the coach wouldn't have called timeout. Even if he did, he can't call it because the ball's in the air. Lonzo was running the lane, came over. That's the best time to score. When it's 9 seconds left and your coach don't call timeout. Yeah. Every time they score 2 3-pointers, it's a game of runs. Don't call timeout because that means you're scared. Start being new. Do the big baller move. Don't call no timeout.
The only point I'm trying to make is that he's been very critical of the team. All right? And the Lakers are fighting back the only way they know how. But I'm just going to give LaVar Ball an idea. Not like he has a shortage of any. Go on Facebook after every game. Facebook Live. Because he has a deal with Facebook.
Oh, he does?
That could be your press conference.
Everyone will watch.
Everyone will watch.
It's okay if it's just he wants to talk to certain people. Because I do think, I don't know.
Think about the message that he could get out, though.
This is my only assumption about him that is probably wrong. But he really thinks that all this makes sense. He thinks he knows everything he's talking about is true. And he wouldn't like that only because he doesn't get to talk directly to media, coaches, ex-coaches, but front office people. He knows they're all hearing him on this platform. If it's on Facebook, they're probably not gonna watch or pay attention.
I completely disagree. I think that
You think Byron Scott's gonna sit down and watch his Facebook post about the game?
Hang on.
You're wrong.
Hang on. You're wrong. I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. So he has a deal with Facebook. They will promote his stuff to the top of everyone's timeline who likes either the Lakers or the NBA or Eurobasket, or it doesn't fucking matter, all right? So once he sees those numbers coming in for what he's doing, he could also make a profit off of it because ads are gonna start rolling after the Facebook Live is done, okay? So once he sees like, oh man, I got 500,000 people watching me and 500,000 views, and then the next day, or next week, the next time he does it, oh my God, 650,000? That's a message getting out to more people. And if he were to rip anybody, you know what would happen? Somehow it would reach Byron Scott, as it always has. Somehow it would reach Steve Nash, as it always has. Like, if there's one thing that we've learned, no matter what sports website you go to, and we're guilty of it too, LaVar Ball is always going to be there. He has reached the masses no matter what. So I understand your point about going to the traditional media and the writers and what have you, but if you want to reach a larger audience in what you're doing, you go on Facebook.
Well, they asked him in a press conference that's set aside for him, or I'm sorry, this press conference set aside for, say like, I don't know, Kerr sitting there after a Warriors win, and they asked, hey, Steve Kerr, so we looked at LaVar Ball's Facebook press conference where he talked about you. What do you have to say about it? He's gonna go, next question. Yeah. But if he said it to a reporter, I talked to LaVar Ball, and this, he's gonna have more of a reason to talk to him because it feels like there's a direct connection.
I don't think so.
It's a Facebook thing.
I don't think so.
I see your point as well too, by the way.
I don't think it matters if a reporter's like, I talked to him. It's like, well, no, he was talking shit about you. I want to know your thought about him dissing you. They would answer.
Because then what actually might happen soon is after this directive of keeping him away from media, then the NBA is probably gonna start talking to players and coaches and whoever else, all personnel, and be like, if he's brought up, don't answer the question.
Potentially.
That could happen next too.
Fair rule
but you know
by
what?
The Lakers?
To separate?
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, for their purposes, that's cool because they want to keep this talk down so much, but I love it. LaVar Ball is extremely annoying, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, but I love this.
You love it.
Oh, I love this. This is fun.
You love him going after the Lakers?
Absolutely. I don't like
hate
the Lakers. And you know what? I do like Luke Walton, but
I like Luke Walton. I don't like his coaching. Yeah, I think he's still learning.
I think he is. Yeah. And that half a year almost he got with the Warriors, he had the best talent in the league. But
you don't even have to coach. It's like Mike Krzyzewski coaching Team USA in the Olympics. It's like, oh yeah, just go. Just
he managed it. He managed it pretty decently because there was a couple tough spots they were in, but he didn't lose. I mean, he still could have lost possibly. Right. But again, there was a point with LaVar in this. Yeah. Honestly, what it's doing, and he keeps talking about his kid, obviously, because that's who he cares about. It hasn't panned out yet, and I know many people have had these slow starts to their careers. So I'm not saying Lonzo. It doesn't mean that he's gonna have a disastrous career. It just means right now his father is holding him up. And if he does end up having any kind of way of a disaster of a career, it's gonna be partly his father's fault. I'm just gonna say that. Yes. We don't know yet, because like I said, they compared him to Jason Kidd at the beginning of his career, because Jason Kidd wasn't that great at the beginning of his career either. But he panned out, and no one kept
Jason
talking
Kidd was
about him every. Yeah, he was.
Bitch, please.
People were talking about Jason Kidd every week and his dad and what he was saying about him. This is a different situation. Yes, the skill set and the numbers and everything are similar, but what's happening around him is completely different. Again, this is a social media generation. These previous players didn't have to deal with this.
Right.
This is a different challenge for Lonzo than anyone else that they're comparing him to. So there's more to it than just, oh, he's a rookie, oh, he's undersized, oh, he's developing this, and what's he gonna do about all these people talking about him every day? There's a mental development that's harder that's gonna be tougher to happen.
I agree with you, but I think it's gonna make him better. I really, really do.
If he can overcome it.
He needs to improve in 2 areas, okay? Shooting, defense. And his defense isn't terrible.
And size, obviously.
Well, I mean, to put on more muscle. Of course, but every rookie's like that.
Right.
So, defense and shooting. His passing is good, his rebounding is solid. One thing that I've noticed, which is the Kyle Lowry way of point guards, and the Chris Paul and Kyle Lowry way of being a good point guard is also effort. Like, they don't care about getting elbowed by the bigs in order to get a rebound. I see a lot of that in Lonzo, that he's not afraid to go up there and get a rebound with the bigs, which I'm totally cool with. Again, I think we're being very, very harsh on a kid who had a burden of his father, put the onus on him to be Michael Jordan in year one, and he's not. And we need to differentiate.
I'm not mad at Alonzo. I'm not mad at Alonzo for it. I'm just saying what could happen to him because of it.
We need to differentiate the two. And if you hate LaVar, don't hate Lonzo just because that's his son.
Yeah, because they want to go nanny to LaVar over his kid, and his kid is just the catalyst.
Yes, completely. Where do you guys and girls and people stand? Thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe to TYT Sports. Why don't you? Please.